Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Sockbot, and today we're talking about Little Big Planet! Today I want to talk about Little Big Planet because I want to talk about something a little more in-depth than I have been going in my previous videos on Little Big Planet. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was getting so burnt out. It's because I was talking about a lot of stuff that's not super my style. No, my style is definitely platformers. I've loved platformers, like I said in my last video, mostly because you can create a level and a really in-depth level from something from just the most basic tools in Little Big Planet. And then you can go crazy with whatever kind of tools you really want to use for any sect of the level. So you could really make a level that's a platformer, for example, going from left to right, or left to right for you guys. I don't know if my camera reverses it, but you can make a level like that, but each section is using the Controlinator, or it's using something different where you're controlling something other than Sackboy, or it's using bounce pads, or there's endless opportunities. And that's one of the things I like about platformers, is the fact that they offer so much opportunity for innovation, and they offer a lot of opportunity for basically just doing whatever you want, as long as it somehow matches the style of your level. And so, because of that basis, that's kind of what's evolved into my most popular level, which was Gravicolor, and that's the one where you're bouncing up and down and all that kind of stuff. I made a sequel to it. A lot of you have probably played it, if you've been on my channel for a while, or if you've been subscribed for a while, but that's just the epitome of trying to completely innovate a new level and create a platformer that's totally different than anything else, but still based on the same kind of opportunity and the same kind of basis of the level. That being said, one of the things that I've really gotten into lately was creating like I said in my last video, levels that are more artsy, and I don't mean that to sound like a pretentious freak that just gets way too into art and thinks everybody else is stupid because they don't enjoy the same. Anyways, not like that kind of artsy, but really trying to tell a story or just create a vibe from a sort of level and the materials and the design of the background for that level, but also create one that's super fun to play. So I'm gonna go back and show some footage here of one of the old ones I made, which is called Windswalk. And I don't know if you've ever played the original Dark Alliance, but this is based off of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, the Dungeons & Dragons game of the early 2000s. And from that game, there was this one section that I loved, and I used to hate it so much because it was so long, there were no save points throughout it, but it was so cool because it created this really weird feeling, this weird vibe that I absolutely loved. So I used this video, hopefully I'll get some footage of that actual clip from Windswalk back in the original Dark Alliance, but that's what I used kind of to create the sense of this level, the kind of loneliness, but also you're on top of a high mountain, but you're not having to worry about freezing to death or anything like that. It's just a long stretch of this desolate but super interesting unexplored territory, and that's what I wanted to create from this. And I think that's something that I kind of went for in a lot of my other levels. You can see this one other one that's actually my most recent level, and it takes place in a city. I've posted videos about this before. It's called Towers. I really like about it is the fact that you can go through the whole level, and again, it's like a dark city, but it's also exciting, but it's also deserted, and it's just such an interesting thing. And I don't know why, but when I started creating this, it just came to me, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And I made it because I'd always wanted to use this one material, which is a city material, but I never figured out a good way to use it. And so, kind of taking my own advice, I just started building with this material, making crazy backgrounds of 1,000 different buildings, all left and right, and crazy stuff. And then I went in and I just created this entire level, and throughout it I was able to use all the different new things from Little Big Planet 3 and kind of innovate a really interesting level that kind of used every different form of platforming that I could really think of, and also kind of played with the idea of dimensions, with going inside the buildings and then going left to right, going down to up and up to down and diagonally and around and through the different layers and kind of exploring the 16 new layers that we got that they just didn't really focus on so much in the campaign, except for, you know, going between the back 3 layers and the front 3 layers. Just something that hadn't really been explored before that I decided to explore, and I was able to do it because it was a platformer. Because I could basically do whatever I wanted as long as it was like the basis of it was playing as Sackboy. And I think that's so cool because I was able to kind of create this sort of vibe, this city, this super artsy kind of weird detached city that looks nothing like an actual city, and to keep building the interesting level because of the interesting design. And I keep saying interesting, and I realize I'm probably complimenting myself, but hey, I spent like 45 hours on this. I'm proud of this level, so take that. Anyways, that was just kind of my basis and kind of showing you what I've done with this sort of storytelling aspect. And I realized, for me, it's not so much a storytelling, it's more of just like trying to create a certain like weird vibe, weird environment. And I think that's why I probably would not be on the storyboarding team for a video game if I were to ever make one, or if I were to ever join something like that for game creation. I would probably be more on the structured environments, because that's what I really enjoy. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. I just wanted to show you these videos and kind of show you, like, in terms of like an adventure, like a very good themed adventure, I wanted to show you what I've seen is possible in Little Big Planet and kind of the process that I go through when I've made a couple of these videos. Now, this is just one category. In my next one, I actually want to go back to some of the old ones because I haven't made a score challenge in a long ass time. And I know that those are super, super popular. I mean, the shark score things are really cool. But there's still one I made back when I was, like, super, super early on, like 2009, 2010. And I want to go back and talk about score challenges and kind of challenge myself to come up with a new one that really is very different from all the other ones. I think because there's so many score challenges, we get into these loops where everyone's just trying to make the better version of something they've already built, that someone else has already built, like the bomb challenges, the shark challenges, the bounce pad challenges, all those kinds of things. So that's what the next video is going to be about. It's going to be about score challenges because I love the couch multiplayer of Little Big Planet, and I think that these are really important to, like, just being able to quickly jump in with a bunch of friends and go like crazy and have fun. So I'll show you some of my old ones that are kind of embarrassing in the next video, and I'll talk about that a little bit. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go to bed and edit this in the morning. But I hope you guys are doing great, and I look forward to talking to you soon. I feel like I'm signing off an email to like a job applicant or something like that. But anyways, talk to you guys soon, and goodbye!